Welcome to that spiritual, actual, factual answers to questions you're asking. You find them inside you, recite you, reciting the records of cash. We laughing, we drafting the passion to vary. It's time for that comedy, dramedy, all of the fanciest, catchiest acronyms. Listeners, listen, we traveling. Conscious is always unraveling. The reading you're having is mapping you back to your natural habitat. Abracadabra, it's magic, let's passing it. To top it off, the host, all the classiest. Now, what were you asking for? All of the answers, what? All the answers.
Microphone.
Yeah, eat that.
Like it's a dick.
Morning, welcome to the podcast.
8 a.m., 9:30, traffic on the ones.
You want a soundboard so bad to be able to go bam bam.
Oh my God.
Pew.
Nothing would make me happier. That's not true.
And it would make the rest of us sad.
Miserable. But happy for a second, maybe?
Yeah, like I would enjoy it, let's be honest.
Well, how hard is it? Like, is that a thing Desmond could do?
Well, he does it in post a lot.
Right. But like, so that I could go, like push a button and it.
You could probably rig that yourself. I mean, or we could rig it for you somehow. But I'm not sure how. It would have to integrate into your audio feed, and I don't know how that would work. So.
All right, I'm going to have a private sideline chit chat with Desmond and figure it out. Just to torture you a little bit more.
Great.
We would have fun with that. And it'd be fun if like every week I came up with new weird sound effects that I was like.
You just do farts. They would just be like different kinds of farts.
Well, there would be farts for sure. There will be farts.
Y'all good? How's it going? What's going on?
I'm good. I had a miraculous improv experience in life.
Right. You said you went to like a jam?
Yes. So a local friend lady, hi Jen from Reserva, if you're listening, you're the best, said, you want to go to this improv jam? And I went, yes, everything in my body. Yes, 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 please. Oh God, yes. Went to the jam. Didn't expect to like it, think it was any good, or want to participate. Because as we know, improv can be terrible. What's my favorite line ever from an episode of The New Girl where somebody does an embarrassing thing and Zooey Deschanel's character says, that's the most embarrassed I've ever been for anyone not doing improv.
Oh, wow. That hurts. I mean, it's funny because the actual, like, there's a lot of really cheap tropes on, like, shows where they're like, yeah, we're making fun of improv teams. And you're like, yeah. But then, like, the ones that nail it like that were actually written by improvisers.
Oh, yeah. They're so good.
People who have deep experience in it.
Of course.
Yeah.
I mean, but here's the thing. It's true. I improvise, and I think that the worst thing in life, the worst thing on earth, is if you see bad improv.
Yeah.
What is worse? I mean, maybe like a nail through the eye. COVID.
Nothing's worse. Have you ever seen the show You're the Worst?
No.
I think you would love that show.
Oh, really?
It's an FX show. Like, it's done now. You could watch like all 3 or 4 seasons of it. And one of the characters who is like this like 30-something vet with PTSD, who's this amazingly like deep heart character, but he's also really funny and ridiculous and foolish and doesn't have a clue about the world and stuff.
Okay.
And he gets into improv, and just following his improv journey and like the names of the teams he's on and everything is like,
oh God.
Oh, this shit was written by insiders. And it's embarrassing and painful and like, oh God, please stop. Everything you're doing makes me want to cringe, but also, yep. You got it.
Tell me again the name of the improv group you were in Albuquerque.
No, I don't want to.
No.
Let me preface it by saying these were a group of amazing, wonderful, beautiful humans, and we did good work. Like, we were doing short form, but it was fucking solid, except for when it wasn't. I mean, some of my most hilarious bad scenes were on that team. We were called Surely You Jest.
It's really bad.
And we literally had like a jester as our like logo, like a guy like with his hands out, like in a frolicky shape.
Frolicky shape.
And when our founder died, which isn't funny, but also it was, and like we all went to his funeral, a bunch of people like got tattoos of that dude on their like leg and shit. I was like, I'm not doing that. I love you guys, but I'm not getting the jester tattoo because I'll live with that for the rest of my life.
Why not get the dead guy's name on your, like, Dave, you know, or whatever?
It was Paul, but yeah.
Paul.
Yeah. Although it was actually Jerry, so that was weird.
What do you mean?
Like, there was always this thing, like, we all called him Paul, and that's how he introduced himself. And he's like, oh, no, my name's Jerry. Like, with my family, I'm Jerry. And, like, Paul was nowhere near his name. It just was what people called him, unless it was his family. And then his name was Jerry.
I don't know what to say.
Neither do I. We always were like, what?
I don't understand. That feels like a guy on a bad improv team's story. I hate to say it. But doesn't it? Come on.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Can we just talk for 1 second about my 11s? Look at them.
They look like life, man. They look like you are a human being that is there, present to the world.
I'll take it. It's rough.
Sam's here. We can let him in whenever.
Let him in. Oh my God.
We'll just
Put him
keep
inside
talking.
me. Put him inside of me.
Wow. Okay.
Put his penis where my vagina is.
Wow.
I don't really want that to happen. Everybody take a breath. I just want to be inappropriate.
Sam, get in here.
What if he just stayed muted the whole time and off camera? The whole time, just didn't participate at all.
I'm here now.
You are here.
I'm
and
here.
Katie was sexually harassing you right before you came on. Did you feel it?
I did, actually.
Was it tingly?
It was tingly. It was...
Did you feel shame?
No. No, right? This space isn't about shame at all.
No, it's about self-hate, shame, giving up on yourself, quitting at life, and not trying.
Speak for yourself.
This is what we're all about, man. What did you come here for?
I want to say something, Katie, that stuck in my
butt.
Craw.
Damn it.
You said on
your
when
butt
we last,
craw. Your
when
butt
we last
craw.
got together, Katie, you said, I don't want to polarize people with my comedy. I don't want to polarize people.
You sound crazy right now. Keep
and
talking.
It's like, but Katie, they're polarized. Whatever you say, they're already polarized. There's nothing you're going to say is going to polarize them.
No, I don't think that I'm going to actually polarize them, but I don't want to contribute to polarity more on this planet.
By having a point of view?
No, by having a polarizing point of view.
Isn't any point of view polarizing when
you are apparently right now, Sam Shaw.
Jesus, what's going on? We're just here to hang out with you. We wanted to sit down and drink tea.
For the listener, this is our second episode with Sam Shaw. We invited him back because we're like, we didn't get enough done.
We didn't do improv.
We will be doing some today, but
let's talk. This is stuck in my craw, though. It was stuck in the craw.
Oh, boy, the craw.
Okay, wait, can I
no,
feel
we're
this
going
one?
to
It's not
address
about
the question.
It's about comedy.
Wait, what? Start again? What happened?
No, nothing. What?
No, what? Tell me what.
Desmond's going to have a good time editing this one. We're all three of us talking over each other. Oh, I was just going to say, hey, can I start fielding this one?
Yeah. Yeah.
Comedy in general. It's not about what Katie's going to do or not. But no, you can base your comedy on subjects that will push into the polarity. Like, let's really lean into pushing into the hate or anger of the polarity.
Right. Republicans are terrible. Am I right?
But you can have a point of view, and you're right. It's still going to be on one side or the other of some pole.
Probably.
But your humor isn't arising out of the need to lean into the polarity.
Or to add to it.
Right. It's about exploring that point of view.
I guess I'd say that we don't really have a choice as whether we add to it. I think it's in the air, and people will just to come out with something you think is objective, or even just like I said, just a point of view or an opinion will be received as polarizing by people who are already polarized. And I just am hoping that we cannot be afraid to be speaking our truth, because we need all hands on deck. Right?
Well, I think there's nuance here. Do you want to, let's get into it. The nuance I would add is that would have been my point of view, what you just said, for all the years I was doing a lot of stand-up. My point of view was listen, this is where I stand. Here's my point of view. Deal with me. You have a problem with it. That's your problem. And we can talk about it after the show or not, whatever. And then there's a way that, I don't know, something has shifted in my heart where I feel a little bit like Like if we put the percentages on paper, I'd say it's something like I'm 51% more interested in connecting with and unifying people than sharing my point of view so that I get to express it and then it polarizes people. Now, you're right. They're already polarized. I'm not causing that. But I'd like to contribute to unification, oneness, rather than contributing to, yes, look how fucking separate we are. Look how right I am. Look how wrong you are. I just kind of have a hard time getting behind that. Although it's not that I don't have points of view or opinions. I mean, I run into problems all the time sharing them here or whatever. But also the thing of like, what is my heart engaged in? Like, what activities am I engaged in? And what are they doing in the world? It matters to me. So but I'm not fully resolved on it either. I'm glad you bring it up because it's like, there's somewhere in the middle between, I think, these two things that we're saying where there's somewhere in the middle where you could share I like how Cass said it. Like, what if we're exploring an idea through comedy rather than landing on a point of view that polarizes? I don't know.
Right. I hear you. And I think, first of all, good morning to both of you. And also, there's a way we can be expressing points of view and even political opinions without being self-righteous and demonizing.
That I agree with.
The opposition.
I agree with that.
You know, I'm coming in a little frosty because my meditation session got Zoom bombed.
Really?
That happened. It happened to you too. I've had it happen once with a meditation session.
What the hell?
Can you describe it? What happened?
We were just getting ready, so I hadn't really started. We hadn't gotten into it yet, but we had just gotten ready. 2 screens opened up, people that nobody recognized. One person looked like they might have been having a mental health crisis of some kind. And the other individual was just all talking about fecal matter.
Oh, I like him.
Just poo-poo. Just a lot of poo-poo. And so then we just exited and came back in. The facilitator didn't have
Wait, yeah. Real quick. Sorry. Was this a person in your group?
These were both people not in the group, new faces that we did not recognize.
That somehow got into your Zoom.
Yeah, because the facilitator isn't the host, and so she had to access the host key to kind of mute everyone or kick them out. And it was just a short period of futzing about where we were left with these insane hecklers.
A gentleman or a lady person or a non-binary person showed up and just went, hey, poop in your hand. Poop.
I think kind of literally that. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Can you describe the mental health crisis? Was it like a bug-eyed face going, blah, 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 blah?
No.
Because that's what happened to us. I was wondering if it was like the same, because mine was on a meditation group. So I was wondering and it was 2. So wouldn't that be weird if it was the literal same 2 images, but it wasn't?
Yeah, that would be weird. Their screenshot was a weird, distorted image of a seeming individual. And then, no, it was just, and then they came on and it was like someone who was like crying, like someone who is really in a lot of distress.
Oh, God.
In a lot of distress. And then.
Like just sobbing in pain?
Yeah. So that was one. And then the other guy was just like, poo!
I kind of love that guy somehow.
Me too. Is he single?
It's not a polarizing point of view. It's just the word poo. I think what these are also aren't not like an actual person. I think they are like spoofed cameras where they like insert the pre-recorded thing into what looks like their camera. Does that make sense?
Okay.
So like if I like played a video, but it went through my camera.
Yeah. And then
you just thought that was me, but it was actually just a proof. Because the way these things work, they felt very like packaged. Like I'm shooting like this, the crying person was like a little short video of a crying person, but it looked like them on camera.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Interesting. So you think they kind of like Milli Vanilli'd it?
Yeah, they weren't actually having a mental health crisis. They were Milli Vanilli.
Thank you for a nice late 80s reference.
That's all I got.
That's
all I got.
Listen, I feel you and I felt you before you came on and referenced it. Okay.
She felt you inside her womb.
I have been hanging out with some 22-year-olds, a 22-year-old and some people of her ilk. And I am so refreshed by being with you guys, where we can reference Milli Vanilli and have not everyone in the room blink at me like, what do those words mean? We are old.
Yeah.
That's it.
I used the phrase, this is the most millennial conversation I've ever been adjacent to.
That's good.
Because they were talking about Kardashians and shit, and I was just like, I'm just going to sit over here. I have nothing to add.
Yeah.
Apparently, Pete Davidson's now hanging out with Kim. Like, he makes his way through all the famous women.
In one ear, out the other.
He's hanging in a Kardashian.
Perhaps.
Just like Sam will be in me later.
That's what you missed before you came on.
I want to come back to it as often as possible, just to make everybody uncomfortable. The listeners, you guys.
It's really polarizing, Katie. I really wish you would.
I am sad that my big plan to come do shows where you are, Katie, fell apart within an hour of me.
I can't talk to you about it. I'm upset. I'm angry with you. I'm angry with the universe.
Put it on the universe more than me, please.
All right. Okay. It's off you. It's on the universe.
But I hope you come out here, and I hope we can do a show in the West Coast.
Do you guys want to go to Ireland? I sent you that link about the Ireland Improv Festival.
Yes. And when?
It's in like November or something.
Let's go.
I'll think about it.
Ugh. God damn it.
I don't know if I'm in fighting shape to perform in Ireland. I think they would tear me apart.
They have a category of I think it's like brand new troops, like literally ones that have never played together. That's actually one of their categories, is like make up a troupe and submit it to us.
Mm-hmm. We're like, oh, this is the up and coming troops. Our combined age is 150.
Oh.
You know, on this
You're
point...
not wrong. Wait, let's see. I'm 52.
Oh, boy.
Katie's
Go ahead.
40s. Sam's like 49 or something. So real close. It's like 147 or something. Yeah.
We come on with our Converse All-Stars and our bowling shirts.
And our Milli Vanilli tattoos.
Okay, so Katie, to that end, oh no, surely you just did not have bowling shirts. The original action pack had bowling shirts.
It's called that?
The original action pack?
Yeah. Oh, that reminds me, Sam, you might appreciate this. I was telling Cass right before you came on, before we talked about your penis, that recently a friend of mine here locally got me to an improv jam. And I was, of course, nervous that it would be horrible and I'd be uncomfortable the whole time. That took us on a tangent. Now we're back to it. We went. It was not horrible. And the people were really cool and they were inclusive and nice. And the way they ran their jam was like, everybody wanted to get on stage, put their name in a hat. And they would call 9 people on stage at once, some of whom improvised for real, some of whom were like, I don't know, some of whom were middle level. It was all over the place. And we did like 6 of those, 9 people each time, 6 rounds of that shit with an intermission in the middle. And I have to say, it's probably because I'm starved for creativity. It went well.
Great.
Like, I give it to, like, they have a crew of people that, like, it was a cool crew. And then I got up and I was like, oh God, I love this so much. I forgot how much I love doing this. The bug bit me like right in the jugular. And then I bled out and died from it. You're talking to my ghost.
I'm so happy to hear that. That's kind of how we used to do it in San Francisco. And I think that I'm excited. It's a great community space, improv jams like that. And
it was really good. And then they have actual shows. And the guy who runs it was like, you could come do those shows. And I was like, fucking A, I will. And then they have like a stand-up thing. And then they teach classes. And I was like, I do all those things. And he was like, great, come do it. It was like that chill.
There you go.
But there were also standards where I was like, wow, this is like heaven right now.
Yeah, that's really fantastic.
It was good. And then my landlord in Oakland, California, his renter is moving out for the summer and he has offered me my place back.
Come on.
For 2 months.
Come on. Let's do it. Do it.
Just come for the summer.
That's incredible.
Right? And then we could do some shows.
There you go.
And maybe my Aunt Betsy can stay at your place in Beacon.
Will she pay me?
You do need a subletter, don't you?
I'm not allowed to have one. I want to say words about it. I'm not gonna.
I'm really glad you found that improv jam, and I want something like that in like literally every town. There's such a positive force for good, even when the product is horrible. There's still a force for good, honestly.
That's right. No, you're right. And on that topic, did you guys hear about how UCB shut down and then reopened in New York? Did you hear about this?
No.
I know it was, a little bit. What about it?
Well, UCB closed, which was like, what? Because COVID. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they couldn't do shows and they didn't have any, whatever. And then I guess what has happened, I've barely heard this and I really don't know too much about what I'm saying. So please don't sue us, anyone. But apparently a very large corporation purchased them. And
I did hear about this.
Yeah. And I guess the plan is to do like put UCB everywhere, like a McDonald's, which is terrible, but also maybe not terrible. What do we think?
Weprov.
I don't know. Maybe it's okay.
It's fine for them. That's not something I'd be terribly interested in. But, whatever.
It depends on how quality the product is. Like maybe they're like if they put excellent improv all over the damn planet, I don't have a problem with that. But I just have a feeling it won't be that.
I kind of think like tuition-based, level-based improv programs, I want them to die. So
Okay.
So that's my opinion about all of those. I feel like
I hear that
they're natural gatekeepers and they could never really be truly inclusive. And so
you could keep my gate.
See you later.
Mm-hmm. You want to keep it?
It's like
what I'm enjoying about this is like this is so not our vibe in any way. Just me sexually harassing you and flirting with you. So I'm doing it a lot, America, because it's it'd be like, what's a better example of this? Like what would be the unassist thing I could do? You know what I mean? Like if I was like, I don't know, if I dressed you in like baby clothes and swaddled you in my arms, that would be weird in the same
You're
way.
speaking my language.
That's what actually Sam wants, I think.
I just like the attention, even if it's fake and performative.
I hear that. Hey, so question. I was thinking when I tried to get Cassidy and I to get our brains to work in a way where we had like a plan for today, but that's not our jam. I was thinking, I like couldn't invest either, Cass. I was like, well, let's make a plan and we'll figure out which games we're going to play. And I was like, nah, I don't care.
Set list and
order. Anyway, but I do think it'll be fun for us to look at like what games can we play together on this format right now that would be fun. And I have a question. That's question one. Question two, is there a desire / need in this triumvirate collective here for us to like, do you need more going into the Sam records, doing spiritual stuff, getting answers to questions, or do you even is that even relevant? Because I don't need to do it, but we can.
We didn't go into Sam's records last time. We just talked about his sign.
Right.
I'm happy either way. I'm happy to just keep it light and do some play and skip the records. I was trying to think of what question I'd ask, and I wasn't terribly satisfied with the question I came up with.
Sure. Like fecal play or anal play or what kind of play?
Not either of those.
Oh. Poop, poo. Did he say poop or poo, the guy who came in? I kind of hope he said poo, because it's a funnier word.
It was, I don't know. I was really blocking it out. It was a little, I was trying to get into a space, and so I didn't let it linger in my mind.
You left your body and went to, Saturn and came back.
Exactly.
And was like, is it over? And it wasn't over.
No. It was my first Zoom bombing experience, so it was interesting. But I'd love to play. I mean, the good thing when you're doing improv on Zoom is you can have a little notepad next to you, so you can call back. I personally can call back details from previous scenes. Where if I did not have a notepad,
it's true,
I would not be able to do that, and that would frustrate my scene partners in the audience.
I mean, that brings up a philosophical question that I think: why couldn't especially if you're not on stage at any given time, like if you're watching scenes, if you're off to the side, why can't we just pull out a little notepad and jot down like a thing I want to remember for later?
Well, at Bats, they have a chalkboard where somebody is actively back there going like grandpa's socks, gorilla pants, zoo. And they write it out so that every time you're backstage, you're looking at it and going, okay, right.
Yeah.
Well, they would do that for their full-length narrative
Because you need to track plot points.
In names and plot points. And yeah, they would do that back with like the intermission during like True Fiction magazine would do that. But yes, because they're kind of improvising plots, like multiple plots.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a smart idea. It doesn't de-improvise anything because you still got to make the whole fucker up. I don't think we have to like get jockey-y about like how much shit can I remember? My brain holds words well.
In the concept of doing long form that is all in the audience where everybody is in a horseshoe on the back of the stage and nobody is off stage, then that recall is pretty vital to the play.
I guess I feel like there are always a few people in any group who are good at that and a few people who aren't. And that's okay. Because those of us who aren't, we're just like, I'm doing other shit over here. And then like Sam comes in with a reference from 1847. And that's what the balance is. Everybody's fine.
Right. And we can also try to, even at our advanced age, combined age of 147, can still try to improve ourselves. Thanks for showing me the crystal obelisk. It's, I'm leaning into that. What is this?
It's just a crystal that's sitting here that I just felt like showing you.
It's nice. Is it a prism?
It's just a crystal. It's just a rose quartz crystal.
Is it charged?
It is charged.
Have you put it inside your yoni and charged it with your yoni energy?
Boy, I hate everything in that sentence. And I should be the one who loves it. I don't.
Good. I made Katie uncomfortable. Finally.
You did it. You did it.
Sometimes you go to the farmer's market. There's a table out there and there's this guy who's selling all kinds of crystals. And he just says, yeah, I spend all day just in the wilderness collecting crystals and basically high all the time. And sometimes I'm like, that's the life. Just looking around for crystals.
Why not?
High and alone in nature. You find a crystal, you're like, oh, that's a great crystal.
Speaking of which, nature made this. I wish you could see this, audience, but look how gorgeous that is. It's all flat and matte and like all those colors. Can you see that?
It's like a geode. What is it? What do we call that?
Well, it looks like this. It looks like just like a shitty rock.
Yeah. Say the word, it looks like this on an audio podcast. That's
No, I'm showing you. And then this part, like the back looks like
look at this.
Stop. The back looks like a shitty rock. Just a rock you find in nature. Then the front looks like beautiful, polished, many layers of color.
It's like a slice of
an arm. I was going to say the back looks like the Elephant Man's forehead, and the other side looks like the end of a severed arm.
Well done.
It's true.
Yeah. Okay. That was show and tell. So, alphabet game for sure. I have to.
We could do an entrances and exits.
Oh.
Because I have a notepad.
With 3 people. We'll get into that. I have a freeze tag concept game which uses last lines of
Okay, I'm going to write these down.
Scenes as the pose.
Uh-huh.
All right.
It'll make sense when I describe it.
All right, I'd love to try that.
I just made it up for audio.
Okay.
Cool. Okay, wait, I'm writing these down. Freeze tag, alphabet. What did Sam say? What did you say?
Entrances and exits.
Entrances and exits. I don't know what any of this means. And I'll just write down scenes. What else?
That's a lot right there. That's like 3 or 4 things.
That's a whole thing. So can you teach me? Yes. Can you teach me either of entrances and exits or your freeze tag version?
Shall we just describe all the rules of all of our games and then we'll play them one after another?
I love it.
I'll start. Entrances and exits. Everybody has assigned a word. And every time that word is said, you are either prompted to enter the scene or leave the scene.
Oh, great.
And that's a good way to keep it, because there's 3 of us, to keep it moving. But because we're audio, we have to acknowledge your exit in some way. You have to have a reason to leave. You don't just walk out.
Right. No, you'd have to do that anyway. You have to justify the entrance and the exit. You don't just leave.
So if the word is uttered by anybody, can you send yourself out?
Yes.
Oh, sweet.
And the audience loves it. The audience loves it so much. Oh, he said the word and made himself leave the stage.
I pulled one of those the other day in this jam where somebody asked me a question in the scene and I said to them, "Oh, I don't know. I checked out a while ago."
I love it.
Just like calling to, we're doing a thing and I'm not invested.
I wasn't listening.
I'm not here anymore. Yeah, that was fun.
All right, so this version of freeze tag, normally we would use physical poses to, someone would call freeze and then assume the physical pose of the person that they are tagging out and then start a new scene inspired by that physical pose.
Right.
We can't do that. So here's my idea.
Okay.
Two of us are doing a scene. The third person calls, I don't know, we're going to say freeze, or we're going to say ding, or you're going to say stop. I don't care. We'll figure that out.
Maybe poo.
Poo. You'll say poo. Nope. Sam made a face. That was not pleasant. We'll just say ding because it's neutral in content. And then you will repeat the last thing that was said by...
Yeah, that makes sense. I thought this is what...
In order to start the new scene.
I figured you were going to say that. That makes sense.
But in a different context. Yeah? Makes sense?
Yeah.
Good.
Yes.
Which is actually a game in and of itself that we can do live also.
And so then just to be clear for anyone listening, so if Katie and I were in a scene, we wrap it up with the last line.
Well, you're just doing your scene, and Sam says...
Cassidy, you say freeze.
Oh, yeah. So Sam just said...
Horses are here.
The horses are here.
Ding.
Cassidy yells ding.
And then I come in. Sam has to leave or has to not be in the scene anymore.
Why me?
Because you said...
Okay.
Horses are here.
Perfect.
And then I will be the new Sam, but I'll say, horses are here? And then Katie and I will have a totally different scene about a different subject that is relevant to that line and the new interpretation.
Word.
And then you'll say ding because Katie just said poop. And then you'll come on and go poop.
That'll happen. All right. That's how that game works. For people who don't know, who didn't hear us last time, alphabet game. Do you guys want to describe it or shall I?
Your job.
All right. Alphabet game is just so I get to, Sam and I are in a scene. Every sentence that is said has to begin with the next letter of the alphabet. So let's say we start with A. I say apples are pretty this time of year. And then Sam's response to that has to start with the letter B. And then my response to his thing has to start with the letter C. And we go all the way through the alphabet in order until we get back to A.
Do we do a 3-person scene of that version of that?
Oh, I think we should.
Yeah. Great.
I just can't wait to see how xylophones and Xerox machines
figure into it, or x-rays.
Or Xanadu.
Xanadu is Katie's usual. Somehow the movie Xanadu always enters into the scene. I don't know. Or Kubla Khan.
Yeah. And then scenes are just scenes. If we do scenes, that's just like play improv, do improv. Yes and stuff, make things happen, form relationships, create locations, be charming.
Yeah.
The end.
I'll be the old guy who can't navigate technology, and both of you will be frustrated with me.
Great. And I'll just shout poo.
We don't have to. These can be audio plays. They don't have to all exist within the context of being on a Zoom call.
Oh, 1,000,000%.
No, I still only do improvised Zoom call scenarios on Zoom.
It has to be realistic within this context that we exist. Welcome to the podcast, folks. Today is an episode just all about Cass, Katie, and Sam. It's like you're looking in on one of our rehearsals because this is basically, we talk shit for a little while.
Yeah.
Argue a little bit.
Yeah.
Say the word poop and then do some games.
Katie says, I'm not going deep enough. Katie says, why aren't you laying out all of your problems so we can all be real? I say, I just need a play space right now. I don't need to bring that shit in. And then Katie's like, then you're not being authentic.
I've never said any
Brian
of these words.
This did happen. Let's be clear. This did happen in like almost our last rehearsal that we ever had. Like,
what are we talking about?
Like really, we got really deep on like.
Oh, you mean with Brian there?
Yeah, with Brian. And we had this guy that we were experimenting with being our like percussionist, and he just had to sit there. He was cool about it.
He was awesome.
And like watch us process our family trauma.
Let's be real. He loved it.
I think he did.
He texted me like 9 times after that and was like, that was so real and honest. And I wish I had people in my life like you. And this is fantastic. And do people talk like this? And I was like, grown up people do. Oh, too bold of a statement. Too broad of a swipe. I get it. Totally too broad. But so do you have feelings you want to share about that, Sam?
No. I think I did find early notes from one of our rehearsals from February 2020.
Would you please just read those notes out?
There's notes?
Do
we have a secretary that I don't know about?
No, yes. It'll take me too long to hunt for them right now. I'm sorry to tease that fact and not be able to deliver.
What do you mean exactly? Did you go home and take notes? Is that what you mean?
I think we were taking notes at the same time on like a Google. Maybe it's a quick memo. I don't know. You keep talking and fill the time, and if I find them, I'll say, "What? I got them."
Let's do improv instead.
Yeah. We can later, if we feel like it, talk about the spiritual impact of the concept of improv, just to be on brand, or we can never touch that at all.
These are things that could occur.
Rehearsal, March 13th.
Yes, I'm so excited about this.
Enunciated word at a time, phrase mirror, chairs, a racehorse named Roger's favorite cancer, survivor, seance, skate-free life, small omelet.
No idea, but so good.
I remember all of those.
What? Tell us. What do you remember?
Well, one of the reasons you did a racehorse named
Roger's favorite cancer.
I don't remember why we named it Roger. I think we were just playing on the idea that while we were doing a photo shoot, I got a text that was naughty that popped into the screen, and you guys saw just a little bit of it from somebody that I was involved with, and it was a naughty text, and it had the word like ride you in it. And then you guys were like, what is going on? Race. And then like you guys, so you just leaned into it throughout the improv and gave me shit whenever you could.
But how did we get to Rogers?
Riding like a racehorse. There was something like, I'll ride you like a racehorse or something like that. It was pretty damn funny and embarrassing.
Really wish I could. Can we talk about who that was?
Nope.
Okay.
We really can't.
It was so risque that mentally I just went back to Connecticut.
Yeah, fair enough.
I just thought I'd out myself on that one. This was some years ago.
Yeah. What do you remember other stuff from that list?
I actually remember that rehearsal. It was in that space.
Live Oak?
It was at the flight deck.
Mm.
God, lovely.
Yeah, and we took a lot of notes about the scenes so that we could, because I think we were maybe thinking of doing maybe some sketch work or something, or just to kind of go back over everything that we had done, just to be like, what was that? What did we do? To kind of see like what were our inspirations. And so I think I have that memo. You shared that memo with us because I remember looking at it, and I've read that list very recently, and I kind of played them back. I was like, oh yeah, I do remember racehorse named Roger's favorite cancer. And skate life. I remember Sam just like strutting around like he had a skateboard. Like, I'm just all about skate life.
That's fucking great. That reminds me, at this improv event, the kid who was hosting the thing got up and he was like, okay, so I'm learning to write stand up. So I need you guys to shout out, what are your impressions of me? And he was wearing whatever he was wearing. That was probably my favorite part of the night because I got to just yell judgments at this man. I don't know.
Invited judgments.
And I was loud about it, as you might imagine. And the room was really creative. The whole room was like, I mean, some good shit came out of our mouths there. It was like, I was like, you brew craft beer at home. Like you skateboarded here. And he goes, it was a longboard, but okay. Like, like just everybody was contributing genius shit. Oh, it's delightful.
I love it. Can I just ask how often this jam takes place?
Yeah, I think it's weekly or every 2 weeks.
That's great.
I can't wait to just be going to it all the time.
That's how Sam and I met, was at the jam session that Sam was part of the creator hosts of. I had met someone. They had 2 nights. They had the sort of long form night and the short form night. And I was super anti long form for whatever stupid reason. I don't know. I thought it was too arty, or like, it's not funny. It's just stupid people taking themselves too seriously. I had no idea. I didn't know. And I started going to the short form night and immediately met Sam and Chris Hayes and some other awesome people. And everyone immediately was like, dude, you need to come to this other night. What the fuck are you doing here? This is fun, but you need to get over here to the Monday night. There's a Monday night and a Tuesday night. And I started going to the Monday night, and I made some lifelong friends.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
See, you're inspiring me. That's what we're trying for here.
That was the San Francisco Improv Cooperative.
Yep. Monday Night Improv Jam. Ran for 5 years. Most lately at the Climate Theater. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's where, just to play, and then people meet and then form troops, and then you start getting enough troops to do double bills and then do real shows.
And it's when you say play, you mean anal. It's anal play?
Well, they did share the building they shared the space, kind of like adjacent space was a sex party organization.
There you go.
Like most small venues in San Francisco.
Yeah, exactly. Somebody's been a dom and somebody's been a sub in that space.
There are sometimes condoms, like when you come into the space.
Did I tell you guys about the time that I accidentally went to a 12-step meeting that was 4 subs and doms and I didn't know?
You told us on the episode with Molina.
Yeah, which, by the way, I'm not shaming it. I just didn't know. It was a shock to the system to be like, all right, I really need to share my feelings with a group of strangers like I do, which is already a weird thing that I do. Share everything with people I've never met. Sure, that's how I roll. But there was a slave in the room who was on all fours, taking you know how you give money at AA meetings, like a 12-step meeting? It actually wasn't AA, but anyway, you give money.
We don't, but.
Okay, everybody gives like $1 to just keep the whole thing going. And this man was on all fours in a leather something, real revealing, at a 12-step meeting, which is not typically where I have experienced seeing that kind of thing. And he's on all fours, and I'm seeing some scrotum, and that's fine. And he's walking around with a tip jar on his back that people were just stuffing their dollar bill in, and everybody went to this meeting regularly. So they were just casually like, thanks, Frank. Just like putting, and I was like, what is happening? Because I thought, I really had no idea what was happening. Like, was this a joke? Was I in a theater? What happened? And then halfway through it, somebody said something like, I'm so glad that this space exists for people like us. And I went, oh,
this is a slightly targeted.
I didn't know.
If I went to that, I wouldn't even know what side of the room to sit on, to be honest. I'd have to like do duck, duck, go or something.
Are you a bride or groom?
It was intense. It was just intense because my brain was, I was like trying to be polite. Also, should I leave? But there were like 8 people total. So like if I leave, it's really a thing. I couldn't ask anyone what was happening because that would feel shaming and judgmental. So I just sat there just like really trying to come up with any idea of what could be happening. And I was wrong on all accounts. But the long story long was it was taking place in a space that was a flower shop, but also a sex dungeon.
When it's a small group, if you're going to leave, it's storming out. Even if you're not storming out.
Exactly. Exactly. So I was a little trapped and a little confused, but then we found our way. And also it was like good to, like they give shit in 12-step rooms about like, they'll have like a lawyer meeting and like a meeting just for famous actors. And it's kind of against the traditions that there would be a meeting that's just for this type of people. The whole sort of premise of 12-step is that it's very inclusive and everybody's welcome. But let's be real, there are groups that are marginalized and,
need an even more safe space.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm glad it exists. I just was like the vanilla-ist thing for miles and sitting there like, I'm confused. And I'm not that vanilla, really.
No, because you've told me about taking a pounding at a sex party. So
I mean, it just feels like above all else, it's a signage issue. Right?
Fair, exactly. I was like, where's the brochure? Is there could somebody hand me a playbill when I walk in the room? Nope. Nobody said anything. Just deal with this now. It was just a little shocking. But you could put that on me too, because I didn't read the internet.
You didn't read the meetup description?
Does everybody here, correct, have a story about
a sex party?
An experience at a sex party? I have stories about it. Cassidy, I'm sure you have stories.
Mine are so just like disappointing and kind of like, oh, well.
Oh, no. That's wonderful. Sam?
We were...
Oh, he's just launching into one.
Doing a little improv jam at a very small theater in the Mission District that also had kind of a food-based sex party the night before. And it would be like pudding.
Spanganga?
If you want to say it, Cass, yes.
They're so defunct for so many years. I think we can call it out.
There would be, there'd be like pudding and what. And so we showed up the next day and they hadn't done the full cleanup. Oof. And there's a small little theater, like it sat maybe 35 people. It was a little tiny theater. But we're like, we have to mop the stage because it's kind of a little gross. You know, we're going to play on it, so we're going to clean the stage.
Don't know if this is vanilla pudding or jizz.
Yeah, and so we got the mop bucket and the mop bucket already had water in it. We're just like, we're going to use this water.
Oh no. How did that go?
It didn't go well, man. We that water was not fresh. So we mopped the stage with this nasty ass pudding water. And it was brutal, man.
Can nobody ever say the phrase pudding water ever again?
It really, cleared out the room, kind of ruined the night. That space was not ventilated whatsoever.
Wow.
I mean, it was this very small off-night improv jam, so it's not like we had a bunch of people in the audience, but it was still a lesson learned. You got to refresh that water when you're going to start mopping. Don't assume that water...
I like that that's the lesson you learned. How about lesson learned when you throw a food sex party, clean up at the end?
That too.
I'm not hating on a food sex party. I'm just saying, be aware.
Yeah.
Other people are going to be here.
Right.
Sometime in the future. Maybe they didn't know you were coming, pun intended.
I mean, it was booked. Like we had a regular arrangement.
Okay, so they knew. All right, I'm going to calm down about it. Okay, that's a good story.
Do you have your 2-minute version of your party?
Oh, God, I have so many. I just was going through my head, like, which one do I tell? I've been to a few. Okay, here's one, because it's not horrible and hopefully won't be offensive in any way. I went to one that I was told, this was in my late 20s, in Sacramento, actually. I was told it was like a little bit of a, like, come with your person. Maybe you make out in a corner and maybe somebody joins you, like sexy, casual. It might turn into something, but like it had a very downplayed, low-key pitch. Like I'd been pitched it in a way that sounded like kind of like a lounge where it's like, we're just here and like, oops, I touched your boob, how that happens.
Sure.
So I went alone because I'm crazy. And it was, I'll just say this. It was Eyes Wide Shut, the film. Sam, are you with us? Okay.
Got it.
It was like this.
We get your 90s references. Yes.
See? Thank you. I'm old. Walked in. It was one big room that was rectangular in shape. And I was at like one of the narrow ends. At the other end of this long room, there were two separate rooms behind it that had clear door window walls. So you could see what was going on in the separate rooms. In the first main rectangular room, immediately to my left, anal sex happening right there, which is great. But like moment one, you enter a room, pounding right here on your left. Over here, there was a woman strapped with her arms left and right and her legs left and right, like a X shape, like Da Vinci's Man, to a circular board. And she was spinning naked. And there were people flogging her. This is the first two things that you encounter.
Again, this is just an issue of signage and reading the brochure, because clearly it was not well marked.
It was not well marked. Okay, so I'm kind of like, wow, all right, we're not going to have a boring night tonight, but also intimidated. Like, wow, holy boy, am I required to participate in? Like, I didn't know what was happening. Then behind that, a bunch of people just doing stuff, all kinds of sex happening, lots of BJs happening, lots of different kinds of leather stuff. But this is the end of the story because I won't go further. At the back of the rectangular room where you could see into one of the back rooms, the back left room was needle play room.
Intense.
Where it was like, there was, how like a doctor or like a surgeon's table there was like a table you could lay on if you were getting surgery, and next to it like a rolly table with devices. But the devices were like a lot of different kinds of nails and needles and scissors and like that. Where some people, their kink is stab me with stuff, put metal things into my parts. And there were people walking in there, putting their gloves on, getting ready. And that was the piece for me personally that I went, oh, I can't.
Yeah.
I can't really be here because this for me is too far. So that happened.
Did you leave the whole party?
I'm trying to actually remember.
Just storm out.
I threw the needle table
that
over.
When you left, it didn't make a wave?
There were a lot of people there. I think I probably looked at everything, walked around the room, and then just smiled weirdly like, oh, thank you so much. And then just white ladied out of there. I was way too much of a Karen for that moment, I think. That happened.
Well, a Karen would have wanted to talk to the manager about not advertising the specificity of this program.
Fair enough. Yeah. What's just like an innocuous white lady who can't hang name?
Katie Rubin.
Katie. You just kind of Katie'd out.
A Katie.
I mean, Katie kind of works in that, I have to say.
It's true. That's real.
All right. We have been stalling.
Let's do this. All right. Do we start? Let's pick an order.
I think we go alphabet.
Writing this down.
Good. Entrances and exits.
Yep. For freeze tag.
First line or last line. Last line, first line. We'll call it. It's called last line, first line, really.
Okay.
Because the last line, it's a freeze tag thing.
Maybe on the West Coast, Cass.
I don't know.
And then scenes.
What did Ken Adams name it? Sit, stand, lie. No. And then some, maybe a scene or two, depending on our time.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like it. And somehow we'll try to connect all of it to each other. Because we're geniuses, energetically in the realm of oneness.
Yeah. We are not going to do divisive comedy or polarizing comedy unless we do, and then fuck you.
I'm happy if we do. I was just saying I have conflicts within myself. I want people to polarize with comedy. Comedy is fucking polarizing. But I sometimes have conflicts with myself where I'm like, I don't know if I could do this. I'm talking specifically about stand-up, where I get up and go like, my opinions, and you. Sometimes I love it, but sometimes I have conflicts about it. That's just about me. I hope that was clear too, Sam. I wasn't making a statement about like what comedy should be or what people should do.
You know what isn't polarizing is needleplay.
Well, I think that it isn't polarizing because it's just like yes or no. It doesn't like demand a moral judgment. It doesn't demand that you get on one side or the other. You just go like, yeah, you do it or not do it.
That's right. With proper signage, you opt in or out.
I think when we form our new improv group, it's called Proper Signage. Side note, I forgot to say this, the whole point of my story. When I left the improv thing the other night, the guy said, where did you train? And I was like, it's a long, that. And then I said, but I have this trio and they're really good friends of mine. And we did some shows in the Bay Area and I'm hoping they'll come out here maybe once. And they were like, he goes, oh, I know that area. What are you guys called? And I was like, you don't know us. And he goes, no, but what are you called? I go, very proudly and loudly, the law offices of Brown, Rubin, and Shaw. And I said the full goddamn name. And I was like, he's not here to tell me no. So I said it. And I thought of you.
The full name.
And I loved you. Okay, here we go. Alphabet game.
Can I get a very specific geographical location for this scene to take place?
We should have asked for suggestions from people beforehand.
Not the Arctic, not Afghanistan, but something like a gas station or a bowling alley.
A waiting room of a cancer treatment center.
And can we see this scene starting with the letter
R?
P.
Oh, P. Okay, man.
P.
So fuck.
Take two. Boop.
Please fill out this intake form, and then a specialist will be right over just to kind of lead you through the process today.
Quick question. Can I bring my dog in to the appointment?
Ringo? It says on the Ringo, your dog Ringo?
Sure.
There's some trepidation among staff about having furry animals in a sterile environment, but I think that since Ringo is so adorable, we'll make an exception.
Usually I bring in my cat. Sorry to interrupt. I just overheard your little argument here. Usually they let me bring my cat in.
Victor, have a seat. This isn't about you.
We need to focus in because, Victor, I know that you are on deck and you've been here and waiting for a couple hours here, but we have to take the new intakes first. And so we're bringing in Victoria here. Victor and Victoria.
Xanadu is playing on the TV here in the waiting room. You can watch it. Enjoy it. I know it's your favorite film. I know it is. Just enjoy it. Just have a seat. Enjoy the film.
Yeah, I will.
Exactly.
All of you who are here because you're at stage 4, please raise your hand.
Basically, I don't know what stage I'm in, so I'm just going to raise my hand for each thing you say.
Cancer is a really serious thing, and people need to know what stage they're at.
Don't take this lightly, people. We're all here together. We're going to survive together, and we're going to fight together.
Every time I come here, some clown stands up and doesn't know what stage he's at. It's offensive to me.
Fine. I'll check my charts or whatever. You guys are like uptight as hell here.
Give me all of your forms, please. I'll just collect them.
Here.
I see here that Victor, you're from the East Bay?
Just east of the East Bay, Contra Costa County.
Karen Smith is my name. I'm before Victor in the line. Karen Smith here. It's my turn.
Let me just take a. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Karen. You can imagine it's a long day and we're a little overloaded here. So no, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to skip you.
Long day. It's like I've aged. My hair's gotten longer. I mean, it's like. Okay, you think today's long? You should see my cats.
More frivolity, please. Bring it.
No, guys. I'm working on my new stand-up because before I die.
Okay. My name is Karen. It is my turn. This man needs to have a seat. I know you've been here a while, Victor. I would like to see the doctor right now.
Pretty uptight, this Karen chick, right, guys? Am I right? Up top, everybody, up top.
All right, quiet down, everyone. We just need to get a little order here, or else we're going to be stuck here all morning long. Karen is next. You guys, are some magazines in the corner. You can just browse, just sit tight. We're going to process Karen first, bring her in for her exam.
Right. Thank you.
So, thank you. Karen, if you just follow me, we're just going to gown you up, and I'm going to put my gloves on, and we're going to...
Underwear on or off? Are you having a stroke?
Victor here, just chiming in again. I always take my underwear off, and I leave it with my cat.
Water.
Xanadu is still playing. Turn it off, Victor. This man needs water. It's too loud.
You need water?
Zachary, please bring some water over here, please.
Oh, that's me. I'm Zachary. Wait, what? Oh, that's me. I'm Zachary.
Boy, this place is a shit show. I am out of here. Door slam.
Cancer's no laughing matter.
Damn, she really did just storm out. She stormed out. Okay, so Karen left. So who's next?
Excellent. I guess it's me.
Frida, come in.
Zachary.
Frida, come inside. We can gown you up.
Gown me up, bro.
Hell, man, this morning, I don't know.
I'm sorry I tried to work my stand-up routine out on y'all. That was inappropriate.
Just don't do it again. This is kind of a heavy room, you know? A lot of people here are struggling.
Ketchup, get your ketchup here. Ketchup sales lady, selling ketchup here at the hospital. Ketchup sales.
Martha, the ketchup lady, is making her rounds, everyone. Just in case you're not familiar, sometimes we need condiments at any random hour of the day. That's why Martha kind of comes along. So if you are one of the people who just needs a cup of ketchup, just step up there.
Okay, I guess I'm just gonna go get my treatment and call it a day.
Pickles, get your pickles here. We got pickles and ketchup. Come get
and scene.
Never easy. The game's always challenging.
Thanks for hanging in with us.
Sorry.
If you're still listening today, thank you very much. Appreciate you.
Okay, for entrances and exits, do we establish the word now?
Yeah, everybody gets their assigned word, and then we'll get
We each assign a word to each other, I think, is the best way to do it. And then anytime that word is uttered, you have to justify your exit, and we'll go and do our camera thing, just because then it'll help us.
Okay. All right. Sam, your word is cacophony.
Oh, my God.
Jesus. That's going to be easily just. He's never going to be on.
I know. Katie, your word is chandelier.
Cacophony? Jesus, I'm going to write this down too. And what is my name? My word? Since you guys traded words, I didn't get to be part of the circle. Oh, you don't want me in the scene. No, that's cool. I get it.
No, I want to give you a really common word.
Yeah.
The.
No.
Fuck off.
Okay.
How about beer? Just
Beer.
The drink beer.
Cacophony, chandelier, and beer.
And we'll start with 2 on.
Yeah.
So why don't you 2 start?
All right.
Katie and Cassie will be starting. And can we get a very specific location to be getting this scene?
You're at the Wax Museum.
Wax Museum, cacophony, and beer. We don't have to worry about letters.
Cacophony, beer, and I'm chandelier. Yeah. Okay.
And we're already on, so we don't need to justify that.
All right. Can you be off camera, Sam, until you come on? Do you mind, just to make it
Wild?
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. It's the technology. Navigating.
Grandpa's having a moment.
Yes.
I'm surprised they let you bring your IPA into the Wax Museum, bro.
Look, I just, it's nobody tells me where I cannot drink. I'm pretty insistent about that. I mean, my waxed mustache, really kind of gives me a little brand. And then they're like, oh, that guy's got to bring his drink in with him.
Man, Mom called it when we were kids and we were playing in the backyard and you had that pogo stick? Mom was like, this kid is going to be an annoying craft beer brewing hipster when he grows up.
Okay. I mean, yeah, thanks. That's nice and all. But look, I'm going to head to the bathroom and try not to knock anything over or make any noise or have any kind of cacophonies happen while I'm gone, okay?
Well, good luck, because that's what you're good at, so careful.
Hey, Denise, you enjoying the Wax Museum? There's a pretty good Margaret Thatcher down the hall.
Thanks, Frank.
Yeah.
You're here like every day of the week, like no matter what day I come to the Wax Museum, Monday, Friday, Thursday, you're here.
Yeah. Well, I just love being in company of these famous figures, I get inspired by their stories, even if they don't really quite look right, or even if like they're a little drooping on one side of the face. I still draw a lot of inspiration,
What do they inspire you towards?
Well, they inspire some short poetry that I kind of write on the steps outside sometimes. Like my poem, Barack Obama, is like a really great poem. I've got a really good poem called Alec Baldwin. It's really good. And I do them out on the steps every day. Have you been to the grand ballroom area of the Wax Museum?
I have. No, wait, you're talking about the poems written in chalk outside on the steps?
Yeah.
That's you?
Yeah. Did you see my poem, Gwyneth Paltrow, that I wrote yesterday?
I have to be honest with you. I consciously tried to ignore those poems.
Yeah, well,
I stepped on them and smushed them a little.
You shouldn't ignore it because, that poem was inspired by the wax figure of Gwyneth Paltrow. And so it's really worth and you should check out that wax figure. It's in the ballroom. That big ballroom where you get beer with the giant chandeliers on the ceiling.
Oh, that's crazy. I'm going to go see it right now. I'll be right back.
Yeah, okay.
Wow, I feel so much. Where'd Denise go?
Oh, she went to the ballroom, the one where you get beers and that has the chandeliers hanging from the ceiling.
I'm going to go see if I can find her.
That room is amazing.
And then
it's incredible. It's so shiny.
It is. That's where, in that room where I composed my poem, Mahatma Gandhi. Well, that was there for a while, but then it rained. But it was yeah.
You've written so many poems. It's like you're creating like a cacophony of visual stimulation. If that makes any sense.
I thank you. I appreciate that, and I think that they're putting in a new statue of Newt Gingrich. So I'm going to go check that out. I'll be back in a bit.
Oh man, boy, this is something else. This museum. I love talking to myself here by myself in a museum. I wish I had a beer, though. That would make this day so much.
Oh, there you are, Denise. Jesus, I've been looking all over for you. I was in the grand ballroom. I was in the bar. I went through. I saw Mahatma Gandhi, Gwyneth Paltrow. I saw
Wow.
Alec Baldwin.
Did you know that Frank, the guy who works here, that creepy guy who's here no matter what day of the week it is that you come?
Yeah.
That guy writes poems based
on the steps outside on chalk. They're fucking brilliant.
And they're based on wax figures in this museum. Did you know that?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I feel like it's kind of a draw for the whole reason to be here.
You mean like culturally, this town, everybody just knows that about this place?
Yeah, it's like a tourist zone. Like people come from all over the world to read these poems. I can't believe you just ignored that. Look, like his one about Katy Perry was phenomenal, phenomenal. And I think he just went swing, swing. I want to swing chandelier. Just landed it like a genius. It was so brilliant.
Terrible that I have to go because I feel like I'm having a gallbladder attack from just the sickly sweetness of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really nauseating.
You're just going to leave me?
No, I'm going to go to the bathroom. Which way was it?
Right over there, near that sort of chaotic gathering of people that's making a lot of noise, that cacophony over there. It just goes past them.
I'm going to do it. That was like a horrifying story. I'll be back. Please tell me better stories when I'm back.
Okay. All right. Frank, you okay? What's going on?
Oh, man, I labored over that poem so long, and it's gone now. It's gone.
Which one?
Did you see it? Does Lin-Manuel Miranda? And some toddler sat on it, and now some kid said it looks like a Wayne Brady poem.
Wow.
It's
like
gone.
Simple rhymes?
Just because I write my poems in chalk doesn't mean they're meant to lack permanence.
I feel like it does. I feel like that's kind of the point of writing something in chalk, is to make a statement. Am I misinterpreting your art? I always thought it was a statement about the temporary nature of all things and how everything is transitory and nothing lasts.
It's not on you to appropriate my artistic vision, tourist.
No, you're right. You're right.
This is a hard morning.
I did grow up here in San Francisco, right?
Well, but it's a tourist attraction, so everyone in here is not an employee, is a tourist.
Beer for sale.
Oh God, you know what? I'm out of IPA, so I'm gonna go see if I can find that beer vendor who I think is in the Grand Ballroom. Right,
I'm gonna try to find some hairspray that I could spray my chalk poems with to give them, fix them into the ground a little more.
Okay. I'll see you later.
Yeah, I think it might be over there in the chandelier room. I'm just going to go. See you later. God, these toddlers sitting on my poems with their little butts spreading the chalk all around. It's tough times.
Hey, buddy. Yeah, I know. I just did a lot of vomiting. Do you have like a napkin or a piece of cloth I can wipe my mouth?
You can take the pocket square out of the Prince wax figure. You'll see it in his little where you can actually use the costumes of the wax figures if you need to, and there's a pocket square there if you
really
need
the people who run this place are okay with that.
Yeah, just don't touch the wax itself, but the costumes are kind of a free for all.
Okay, let me take this Prince pocket square here. I'm just gonna wipe my.
I'm sorry.
I got actually physically nauseated by something my brother was saying, which I've never actually had that experience where somebody says something and you hate it so much that you have to vomit. Have you experienced that?
Was he talking about IPAs?
No.
Oh.
No. I don't want to get into it, but he was talking about some weird stuff. So anyway, listen, when he comes back, I think he and I want to go into the back room where the surprise figures are. You know, the ones that they just made that nobody.
Yeah, Johnny Knoxville and Michael Stipe.
Well, I was hoping to be surprised, but thanks for ruining the surprise.
I'm sorry. Yeah, well, the surprise is people kind of forget what Michael Stipe looks like, and so they come in and they're like, oh, it's Michael Stipe.
Well, what was the...
surprise.
First of all, what is the connection between those two people, and why is it surprising that they're the figures? They don't seem very surprising.
Well, the connection is Michael Stipe is a huge Jackass fan, and Johnny Knoxville's favorite record is Fables of the Reconstruction.
That's hilarious.
Well, it's a fact that is also hilarious, perhaps. But
beer, I love beer. I love beer. Sorry, I'm back. Got myself a beer. Oh, shit, I dropped it. I gotta go get another one.
And also at the Wax Museum, self-entrances are just fine here. You always think that, you can't touch the statues. You can. You can molest them and take pieces of their clothing. Also, enter yourself, exit yourself.
Wow. Real quick, Frank, I know you guys are about to close in a few minutes.
Yeah.
My brother is kind of a douchebag.
Mm-hmm.
I was wondering, is there like a room of figurines here that are maybe like in his wheelhouse so that we can like hit that room, see the douchebag people and just get out of here? He's kind of like a bro, but who thinks he's a hipster and he makes his own beer at home. Is there a room for him?
Oh, yeah. The Proud Boy Annex is down the hall.
Proud Boy Annex? Sorry, I was in the other room, but I overheard you mention the Proud Boy Annex. Is Gavin McLeod there?
Yeah, he's down. Gavin McLeod?
Oh, Gavin
from
McInnes.
Love
Do you have Gavin McLeod from Love Boat?
Well,
the
he's
Captain
not in the,
Stubing?
He's not in the Proud Boy Annex. He's in our Hall of Titans.
That makes much more sense. Yeah.
So why don't you go check it out? And I hear a little bit of a cacophony. I'm going to self-exit and check it out.
All right. Thanks for the guidance, man.
Yeah, take it easy, Frank. When people say self-exit, it just sounds masturbatory to me. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you're taking yourself out. It's like rubbing one out, but for yourself.
I'm going to self-exit. It's gross.
A little evacuation.
Anyway, why don't we check out the Proud Boy room so we can
with
see
Gavin
that.
McInnes.
Yep.
Do we get to punch him? You can literally punch that Nazi.
You want to punch your own people?
Hey, I'm a douchebag, but I'm no Nazi.
Fair enough. I'm sorry, bro. I got you. I look, when you went away to college, Mom and I spent a lot of time. We did a lot of knitting. We did a lot of crocheting here, back on the farm. And then since you went to college, I haven't seen you very much. I'm just a freshman and you graduated and here we are meeting in San Francisco I don't even know who you are anymore.
Well, I'm just a simple brewer of hops, yeast, and malt barley. Those are the things I use to make my malt liquor, also known as IPA. I mostly do IPAs. I occasionally do a Belgian, maybe a Saison sometimes.
You ever get into a stout?
Occasionally. Stouts are a little harder to pull off.
What about like a lager?
Oh, yeah. That's your simple stuff right there. Just some straightforward American lagers.
Basic ale.
Basic ales. Absolutely. Yeah. There's a lot of different things on my shelf right now at home. It's just like a cacophony of beautiful, different beers and stuff like that. You know what? I'm going to go leave.
I'm back. I just composed.
You leave a lot, but all right.
I just composed my Gavin McLeod poem in chalk on the stairs. It starts, love, exciting and new. And I'm still working on the rest.
I feel like that reminds me of something.
Yeah, that would be impossible because those words, the first time that combination of words came out is out of my mouth now.
Interesting. So listen, we took a brief gander at the Proud Boy room. I'm kind of done with this place for now. My brother and I have a lot of catching up to do. Do you recommend any other great tourist spots here in San Francisco that we should hit?
Oh, well, everybody seems to love the Clam Shack, which has original wood paneling by Shakespeare's set designer Indigo Jones. You can see a wood paneled wall from the Elizabethan court of Elizabeth that's been put in there. Used to be owned by William Randolph Hearst, and that's an interesting fact.
You're telling me there's a place where the attraction is wood paneling?
Yeah. People come from far and wide to see that.
Do they sell beer there? He's kind of a beer guy.
There is beer there. There is beer and some beautiful chandeliers.
Hey,
that were
I'm back,
actually
but I'm leaving again.
Okay, some beautiful chandeliers that were.
Yeah. Oh my God, he's trying to get laid with a teenage girl. Don't have sex with that. Give me a second. I'll be right back.
Okay. Love, exciting and new. Oh, I got it.
Slow fade to black.
Come aboard. We're expecting you.
And that is entrances and exits, ladies and gentlemen, and all the other folk that don't identify with those words. Thank you, folks. That was our work.
That scene made me appreciate both of you so much and feel like I am serviceable at best.
Like what? Oh,
You guys just blew me away right there. You reminded me of what improv can be.
very too rusty to do this shit.
I also just I associate that reference you used about the wood paneling designed by Inigo Jones with like the Sam I met 20 years ago. And I feel like you told me about that 20 years ago, early on in our relationship. It's one of those Sam pieces of knowledge. That's a real thing, Katie.
That's another back pocket mystery
Is it?
I've been holding on to.
What's a real thing?
So there's, Inigo Jones he created the first like Hell's Mouth in Elizabethan stage. Like he was a huge designer of theatrical sets, but also interior spaces for the royal court. And
I fully thought you made up the name Indigo Jones, B, the fact that he was a set designer.
And see that there's wood paneling from the Elizabethan era in a clam shack in San Francisco.
It's not a clam shack. It used to be actually literally a restaurant in the 70s in Fisherman's Wharf called Ben Johnson's. That was like
So it was an Elizabethan reference.
It was an Elizabethan themed restaurant.
What?
You can find the menus on eBay. They're incredible. And so the creators of Ben Jonson found this interior wooden space that was created by Inigo Jones in the 17th century, and that was owned by William Randolph Hearst, and they put it in this space. And I've been kind of vaguely, passively trying to track it down because it's like, oh, did you know Shakespeare's set designer has an artifact in Fisherman's Wharf, San Francisco, and nobody knows where it went.
That's interesting.
So it's interesting. Is that interesting, Katie, or is it that's interesting?
Well, thank you, and good night. Thank you. Good night.
Did you just tune out?
I just went to sleep a little. Well, I was actually having this thought. It's such a great combination of qualities if you're going to improvise to be like a person who has knowledge like that in your brain and who is creative the way you are. Like, what a fun combo. Because then you could put my friend Richard, who was on the podcast the other day, he's that way too. You could talk to him about a particular kind of wheat that's blowing outside your window, and he'll be like, well, in 1473, the wheat mongers, of Antarctica. And you're like, what?
Well, it allows you to go on a riff on a topic that makes it kind of seem like you're like making this up.
Right.
And you are in the context of the scene, but also you're like, no, I actually have a lot of knowledge that I can share.
No, it's genius. It's like how Callum, when you improvise with Callum, he could pull references out of nowhere. You ever heard him at like a speechless show?
Yeah. 20 minutes before he does his first slide. I know Callum.
Yeah, exactly. You get it. All right. Well, very well done, gentlemen. I was just like making sure things happened. I had nothing interesting, just like servicing the sort of. We're not going to judge it. We're going to move on.
That's Katie Rubin, always servicing.
Don't you wish I could service you? What?
What? There we go. Third game.
Last line, first line.
Last line, first line. So we'll just do a loud, I don't know, like a ding. What do you want to say?
But I think you probably want to make the thing be the name of the person you want to leave. Otherwise, how do we know who you're dinging?
Well, whatever the last thing, when I ding, then I'm going to repeat. It's true. Because
I could go Cassidy, and then you stop talking and leave, and then I take your spot.
Great. That sounds fine.
Oh, I was confused. This is the freeze game that you just mentioned that you're calling last line, first line. It is not.
Right. Well, because it is last line, first line in the sense that you're going to start the new scene using the last line of the previous scene as the first line of the new scene.
Why would that be confusing to the actual other game called first line, last line?
Last line, first line, last line. You're right.
We should play that game too. I forget
audio freeze. We're doing audio freeze.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right. Wait, how do we end this?
That's what I've been asking myself all morning.
Life or the scene?
The scenes.
And really the scenes are a metaphor for life. So
I think somebody has to end it. You did a great job. You ended it, slow fade. We're finding our way. We're finding our way.
Okay.
Okay. So first line, last line, you'll say the name of the person who you want to have them leave.
Last line, first line.
Last line, first line.
Oh my God.
Freeze line.
Here we go. Should we start with two? So it should.
Two of us are on. Yep. Two of us are going to start a scene.
So a third is off screen.
Yep. And then Katie. No, wait. Katie already turned off. You're back on, Sam. Get back on here.
Okay.
So, Katie, you have to just give us a decisive stopping point, and then you have to repeat whatever the person that you...
I'll just go Cassidy or Sam.
And then you'll use my words, right?
Just say freeze.
No.
I said, just say freeze, and Katie went, no.
I'm going to say the name of the person.
Can you say ding or freeze Cassidy?
No.
Freeze Cassidy.
Are we still talking about this? Go. Do the scene.
Okay.
You know, Billy, this giant industrial complex can be all yours someday.
Dad, I'm really interested in going to art school, so that's why I wanted to invite you here today in your leather study to really, challenge the nature of my legacy.
Either the loading bays, the lounge, the parking lot, all yours.
Yeah, I feel like you're not really listening to me, Dad. I wanna draw nude figures and turn them into like elfin visuals.
Okay, I've been looking at your sketchbooks for a while.
Freeze. Sam. I've been looking at your sketchbooks for a while, and I think that you would be a beautiful addition to this institution. We welcome you here.
Wow, that is so exciting. I have been dreaming of joining the Art Institute of San Francisco since I was a kid. I mean, I grew up seeing your buildings literally everywhere.
Wonderful, wonderful. You will need, of course, to become a bit more, how shall we say, pretentious?
Oh. Could I, put on an English accent?
Yes, if it would make you seem a bit more, different, pretentious, fancy, superior, then you can be, that would be good.
Right, then, how does this one sound? Right, is this a good one?
Cassidy, how does this one sound? Is this a good one?
All right, let's try again. Okay, we're working the scales. Okay, I'll do the scale, then you repeat. Okay, I know this is only your first voice lesson, but I want you to literally repeat the sounds I make. Are you ready?
I'm sorry. I thought I would bring in my own exercises and you would critique them. No, but you're the boss. You're the boss. So you go ahead.
Okay, well, I feel like just in terms of establishing my being able to see that you can, that you can hear pitch and match pitch. Maybe we start.
You just need to find the baseline.
We find the baseline, and then we'll go ahead and hear some of your original works. How does that sound?
Fantastic.
Okay, and we're really happy to have you here at Mimi's voice tracks.
I love Mimi's. I've seen the buildings all over town. It's finally great to get back here and see it.
Yeah. Well, Mimi herself has, quite a legacy.
Yeah, of course.
Having started the restaurants, Mimi's Restaurant and Horror House.
Mm-hmm, Mimi's.
And then having started the brothels after that, Mimi's Horror House and Restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
And then having started the Shoe Shack, Mimi's Shoe Shack. Yeah. She took over this town at a certain point, really.
I know. Well, yeah. It's Mimi's world.
It's Mimi's world. We're just living in it. And when she gave up, the biz, as it were, and sold the Shoe Shack and started her vocal track studio, I was really lucky to get a job here.
Great.
So we're happy to have you. Okay, so let's start. Okay, I'll start and then you repeat. Ready? Me, 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 me. Now you.
Me, 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 me.
Sam. Me. Pick me.
Joshua?
The first ever explorer to reach the center of the Antarctic was Anton Edelweiss.
That is correct. You get a hard candy.
Thanks, Mrs. Sharman.
It's my sincere pleasure, Joshua. Now, if you'll look up here to the chalkboard, you'll see the rest of today's lesson. We're gonna focus on Antarctican law, Antarctican crafts, Antarctican theater, Antarctican history,
and the law offices of Brown, Reuben, and Antarctica. Little known outside of Antarctica to the rest of the world, but they happen to be the most functional, healthy, wise set of legal minds in the world. Now, let's begin. Are there any questions?
Ooh, me. Pick me.
Yes, Joshua.
Is it true in Antarctican law that nobody is allowed onto Antarctica unless they are part of a scientific expedition or in service of that scientific exposition, such as people who are providing sexual congress to those who are in this said scientific expedition?
Correct, Joshua. I give to you a soft candy. There you are. Yes,
Katie.
All right, now.
Say it louder.
Katie.
Oh.
I give to you the soft candy.
Dad, I already explained to you. I don't want your soft candy empire. I don't want your loading bays. I don't want your other pieces of my legacy. Soft candy, hard candy, none of it. I just want to go to art school. I was hoping. Go ahead.
I will buy you a brand new Sony Discman.
You're not making this easy,
Yeah.
Dad.
You can take your music on the go. What do you think about that? You just need to put your sketchbooks away forever. And then you can put a Peter Gabriel CD into the Discman and go for a walk whenever you'd like.
Look, Dad, I had a dream last night. I saw into the future. I was accepted into the Art Institute of San Francisco by this lady with a French accent, and she told me that I was what they were looking for.
You don't listen to what that Mimi woman has to say. That Mimi woman is bad news. She'll corrupt your soul like she corrupted mine.
Sam, freeze. She will corrupt your soul the way she corrupted mine. This is the title of my favorite painting that we have here in the museum. You see it is
This one right here.
this one here.
Corrupted your soul, just corrupted mine. Right, yeah. I see. It's like.
Just
Go
a
ahead.
picture. It's a picture of just one cow.
Right, on a white background. It's really evocative. Yeah.
Very postmodern, postmodern, after the postmodernism.
Could I get a little critique of the work I've been doing since I've been here a week and a half?
Absolutely. All I live for is to make you feel small.
Right. You want to see this thing I've drawn?
Reveal it to me, please.
All right, I'm going to flip back the pad, right? Yeah. Here it is. Flip.
Thank you for narrating the movement of the paper. I see.
Right. I'm just going to sit now and listen. Sit.
I see the image. Interesting. What did you use here? Is this... by the way, I'm from many location. We use the pretense of any kind of pretense we can take. Maybe...
Cassidy. What can I say? I'm from many locations, you know. I'm from the beach, from the forest. I'll take you to all those places if you'd like to go with me.
Wow, man. It's a really appealing offer. But I got to say, I'm kind of married to my art, you know?
Oh, yeah? You want to put yourself in a box like that? Because I don't put myself in a box. I'm free.
Yeah?
I've got the wind blowing through my hair, and I've got grass in between my toes and salt water, and actually a little too much salt water in the sinus. I need to kind of flush it out.
Yeah, were you doing a neti pot and went a little crazy?
Yeah.
Wow.
But anyway, like I've got the world in the palm of my hand, and I'm offering it to you.
Put you in the palm of my hand.
I'm offering it to you, but you just want to be doing your little doodles.
Yeah, I'll do your little doodle.
Do my doodles?
Yeah.
No, I'm trying to open you up beyond the doodles. You're too doodle-centric.
Yeah, I'll open you up
You know what?
beyond the doodles.
I want to be your sledgehammer.
Yeah.
I want to be your sledgehammer.
You can be my airplane.
What I just have to say is don't give up with Kate Bush.
And scene.
That one just started to dissolve in a very fun way. Just like dissipated into the ether.
I mean, there's no better finishing line to an entire opus of scene work than "Don't Give Up" with Kate Bush. 'Cause you have friends.
Is that how it goes?
I think so.
Really?
Not really.
That's a little bit anticlimactic. Don't give up, 'cause you have friends. That's not true.
I don't know this reference at all, so I don't know. I can't speak to it.
Sledgehammer. I will
one I know.
hammer the nail into the wood.
That's not how it goes, Sam.
Those are not the words in it. All right. What if we still have to do a scene, like a scene with no structure? So what if we try to somehow, we're going to bring it all home.
We're going to tie it up.
Okay.
Let's just remind
Is this just
ourselves.
a mono scene, just a single location scene? We're not changing or tagging out or moving to other places necessarily. Open.
I think it's open.
And don't put me in a box.
I'll put you in my box.
Don't put baby in a corner.
Mm-mm.
So alphabet scene. Oh yeah, we were in a cancer waiting room. Entrances and exits. We were at a wax museum.
Yeah.
Last line, first line, last line. Freeze tag.
A lot of things happened, but there was a theme of art critique and schools.
Pretense dad wanting the business to carry on. Oh boy.
Oh, we're reviewing our notes, are we?
Okay, you guys have to give me 2 seconds. I'm sorry, I have a landlord emergency.
Okay.
Yeah,
Are we okay? It's 11 o'clock. Is everyone okay for another 5 minutes or so?
I have to make a very short phone call and let a man into my building. I apologize. Please hold. I'll be right back.
Let's not start. I'm going to just tell you that I'm intending to start an improv program at my son's middle school. And I'm trying to figure that out, but I've got it. It's going to be called Troops, and it'll either be a lunchtime club or an after-school club.
Could it be called Troops or Dare?
Dare to use drugs?
Yeah, Troops or Dare to use drugs.
Troops or Dare. I don't know.
Or dare to keep kids off drugs.
Dare to keep kids on drugs.
I want to create a platform for kids to start their own ensembles and to form their own little disposable
Fuck
troops.
yeah, bro. How old are these kids?
It would be sixth, 7th, and 8th grade.
Rock on.
And my son's going to be a 6th grader, so I want to start with 7th because I don't want to do it with him in his first year there.
Gross.
I'll start with 7th, and then they'll graduate and be 8th, and hopefully Cass is laughing. I don't know why this is so funny to you, Cassidy.
I like how you're literally, you just talked about wanting to be inclusive, and then you're like, but I'm designing it specifically to exclude my son when it starts.
Yeah. Well, I want him to have his own first year at this middle school without having his dad hovering around, you know?
Fair enough.
And I can't really debut it. I don't know. I'll think about it, but I'm excited. Hopefully I'll have the time to do it. Hopefully I'm not writing checks I can't cash.
I want you to do that for grown-up people. Why don't you do the thing that made you two meet?
They're lost. Grown-ups are lost. I'm not interested in them. They made their choices. They made their bed. They can sleep in it. Those kids in middle school, that's the future. So
That's true.
I've given up on damaged adults with their pornography and their alcohol. I'm going to just do the children.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough. With their can dancers and their
the
snuff.
adults have FLS plus and speechless in the for corporate world.
With their short skirts and their attitude problems.
Exactly.
And their rolled cigarettes in their T-shirt sleeves.
With their stained teeth and their tobacco shorts.
And their snooker tables.
I'm not helicoptering in to save 24-year-olds who have been blowing off their own mental health and not making any friends and just being nothing, you know? The kids in middle school didn't make those choices yet.
Should we do a wrap-up scene?
That's high stakes. Wrap it. The scene has to wrap it all up. And if it doesn't, it's a failure. It's a failure.
I didn't write anything down, so.
I wrote it all down. I still can't wrap shit up.
Me either. So wait, let's just say it again. We got cancer waiting room. We got wax museum, beer drinker, cacophony, chandeliers. We got pretense art accents. I I already forgot everything I just said.
And Antarctica.
And Antarctica.
An ancient lady.
And Indigo Jones. Not indigo. It's not the color indigo.
Oh.
It's Inigo, like Inigo Montoya.
Ah.
Hello, my name is Inigo Montoya. You kill my father, prepare to die.
I thought, yeah. Should it be one scene or maybe 2 or 3 short scenes? Let's find out. Here we go.
Jerry?
Yeah.
Is this your coffee mug? Just sitting in the sink?
Yes. So I'm going to wash it in a bit.
Yeah, in a bit. We talked about this.
Stan, I just put it there. I was going to come back in like 10 minutes and wash it. So I don't wash things immediately. Sometimes I drink it, then have to do something and put it down. So we don't need to ride each other like this.
Look, we already got a memo from corporate about the impending ant invasion
because of Sherry's.
Yeah, and I've been tasked as the team leader, the anti-clutter team leader.
Mm-hmm.
Because
of Sherry's coffee grounds are attracting all of the ants. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and they're the remains of the coffee in your cup that is sitting here in the sink unwashed.
And as I said, I was going to come back and wash it in 5 minutes. So you're being a little authoritarian with your new powers. I'm just going to say that.
We also have been told not to use certain words or language. We can't say the word gay or authoritarian.
Yeah, see, those are not opposites on the same scale, right? So we
Gentlemen, lovely to see you both here.
Hello, Miss Hornsden.
Hello, Philip.
She never gets my name right. That's fine.
She doesn't, but dude, the sexual chemistry between you is very palpable.
It's really inappropriate.
Now, remind me, gentlemen, Joshua and Philip.
Just go with it. Just allow it.
Remind me, who here is the gay and who is the authoritarian?
Okay.
Miss Hornsden?
Yes, Jacob.
First off, we don't say the gay.
Hmm?
Yeah, we don't use it as a noun. It's an awkward, antiquated use. Second of which, being in Florida, we no longer are allowed to even use the word.
Which word is that now?
The one that is spelled G-A-Y.
C-A-Y? Like where the birds go to the Pelican Cay?
See, this interplay between you is just erotic.
Listen, we'll discuss the ins and outs of the legal language system later. Now, speaking of the law officers of Brown, Reuben, and Antarctica are here today to discuss with us our legal difficulties we've been having together.
We have the worst HR department. Mrs. Hornsden is so old and deaf. Luckily, they can't hear me whispering right next. What?
Did you say a thing?
I said we also can't say the word authoritarian because it might make some conservative folk feel like they're being accused of something that they don't want to acknowledge is an apt description of their actions.
What?
Are we ready to begin the legal presentation?
Yes, let's begin, Mr. Rawshaw.
My name's Bob Rawshaw. I'm a staff attorney at the law offices of Brown, Reuben, and Antarctica. And I'm glad to be here to present you on some legal matters that are affecting all of you and to lay a pathway.
God, I feel like if I like walked out right now, it would feel like a storm out because there's only 4 of us in the room.
I know, it would be very awkward. Don't do it.
And so they would sit. It feels like it's just gibberish. I have no idea what he is saying.
Garnishy. So skin, peel and then double appeal. So if there's a
gentlemen, before we continue, if I may, I have a quick appointment. I have to make my way to follow up with my cancer doctor. I'm doing well. I'm in remission, but I need to go to have a checkup. So I'll leave the law work to the gentlemen because you know how we ladies are. Can't quite put a thought together in our little pea brains. Say hello to the gays.
Okay, we're just going to put all of these HR matters that have been resurfacing aside because
we're just going to ignore that.
The number of red flags that have just been risen just in the last 30 seconds is not in my bailiwick.
Outside of your wheelhouse?
It's not in my wheelhouse. So as we're saying, when it comes to certain legal matters, if we're going to bring them to appeal, we need to file an amicus brief. And what that
oh my God, this guy is just yammering on. Are you following this?
I am. No, I'm not. I'm just
Look, just wash your cup, put it in the rack, and you and I can go out, get a IPA or something.
And then you file another brief. All right, let's do it. We'll do it. All right, let me just go wash it out.
Sorry to interrupt you guys. Is this the frat house where the free beer's at?
Who are you?
Oh, I'm just like, what's her name's bro? I was at the wax museum a second ago, and I'm like really fucking
We
ripped
have no
right
idea
now.
what you're talking about. We're at our place of employment
I-
in the break room getting a lecture from an ancient man
Okay,
from
so
a law office.
there's no beer here. That's what you're saying.
No.
Okay, I'm gonna peace out. Thanks, bros.
Dude, that's not bro. If another bro comes in and you deny the bro, that's not bro.
Oh, I just broke the bro code, didn't I?
Dude, bro
Hey,
comes in,
bro,
wants beer, you bro.
Bro, come back. Bro.
So bro.
So,
Bro.
Yeah, sorry. I want to apologize for breaking the bro code.
bro, I felt like, what's up, bro? Like the code, like us, like you cracked it and you bent it over a chair and you shoved your fist up it and then you
Whoa.
sent it out the window, man.
Oh, God, I think the law guy overheard that. No, he's just short-circuiting. We're fine. Look, we do have a mini fridge here, and it's got, what do you want? Lager, Belgian,
Bro, I could take
IPA,
like a stout, like a broad home brewed stout though.
I've got this chocolate stout, double chocolate stout.
See, now
that-
you feel me. You feel me.
I
You feel me?
I feel
Just
you.
get the
Up
bro
top.
Get the bro the double chocolate stout, and I'll just cover by looking like I'm following what this guy's saying.
Okay, just not a lot.
Bro, did you see that chick on her way out? That hot fucking chick? That piece of ass that walked out?
Whoa, A, careful. B, sure, but what?
I'm just gonna say, man, there's like fine, and then there's Great Depression fine. Know what I mean?
Bro, you get it. That's what I'm saying. That fucking grandma was hot. I want to take that grandma to the clothesline and hang her up the way they used to do laundry in her time.
That's true. That's some Dust Bowl hotness right there.
Hey, guys, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I see that you're all gathered in the break room, and I feel kind of left out. So, are we getting an orientation of some sort? Because
No, we just bailed on that boring ass law lecture because bro came over and we just needed to bro the bro, and so we're gonna.
if you thought that was a bro, you should see the guy that I was with. Yes, I'm trying out my new stand-up routine. It's not going well.
Okay, well, like most stand-up routines, it's better received if everyone's lubricated. So let's like pass out the
Bro!
booze.
Bro!
Bro.
All right, there's your double
Bro.
chocolate IPA.
Thank you. I'm going to take a swig of that shit now. I think it's pretty safe.
Oh, I'm back, you all. Sorry, I forgot something. I would like to say, don't leave me out, bro.
Okay,
Bro! Grandma wants a drink. Can you get her that?
there's some mead. Does she want some mead or
I would love some
like a
mead.
gimlet? What?
I would love a mead gimlet.
Here you go, Grandma. Smack you on the ass. You look good,
Oh,
homie.
you're a saucy one. What are you, 12, 20, 18?
I'm 2012 for
19?
you, Grandma. Let's go
Ah.
outside, you and me. We'll talk on the porch by ourselves.
All
Come on.
right.
You guys have fun.
Bye.
Now, as I was saying to all of you, thank you all for coming. We have gathered today the most pretentious pieces of art in the whole of the planet, and we have put them on display for you here. Now, we have the most famous artist in our midst who has been at the school now for about 25 minutes.
Right.
Very talented. I would like to introduce you to him. His name is...
Right, it's Nigel. Nigel Rocha.
Put your hands together, please, for Nigel Rocha.
Right, well, I'm going to describe this piece to you. It's a single red dot with a background of a cow, right? Yeah, it was inspired by a work that I witnessed early on when I was here at the school, right? And in fact, the artist of that piece, right, is here today. It's this gentleman near me with his own unique accent as well to really make things as pretentious as possible. I'd like to introduce to you Gareth McInnes.
You could say it's my Gareth McNeese, and basically ask me what my theory of art is basically two sentences I put together. Don't get it, won't get it. And that's my theory of art. So I create ceramic, I create sculpture, I create line drawing and watercolor that are completely incomprehensible to everyone except myself. I also do performance pieces and prose poetry.
This is the perfect segue. We have our final artist here today, the poet, the famous Wax Museum poet, Frank, is also here to share with us his beautiful poetry. Frank, come take the stage.
Hi. It's good to be here. I don't really share my art in ways beyond the permanent nature of chalk on concrete, but I can share a couple first lines of some of the poem. This poem is called Nancy Pelosi, and it's this might come as a shock to you, but it's based on a wax figure of Speaker of the House, former Speaker Nancy, current Speaker Nancy Pelosi.
Yes, that makes sense, actually.
Right, yeah.
Given that is her name and that is the name of the piece, it makes a lot of sense. Carry on.
First line, tear it up, Nancy, tear it up, wear the scarf, wear the pin, tear it up, Nancy, tear it up. And there's a lot more. There's a couple more stanzas.
I believe I can speak for everyone here when I say brilliant, genius. You are the top of the class. I thank you for being here today.
This next one is called Ted Lang.
Oh my God, this guy just won't stop. I'm just going to sit here in the back and whisper to you about how I've never been more embarrassed. Like, this is the most embarrassed I've been not watching improv.
Isaac from the Love Boat.
Slow fade to black.
Make the drink.
Isaac from the Love Boat. Nice.
Ted. Oh, shit. I can't remember the actor's name. I almost had it.
I said Ted Lang.
Oh, it's Ted Lang, isn't it? No, it is?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus, you're a genius.
No.
That's really good.
No, I'm not.
No.
Well, you've sat through 2 hours of us talking shit to each other and doing improv. Thank you, everybody, for your time and attention.
I don't think it's so terrible. I think we had a good time.
I didn't know. I didn't say it was bad. I just said it was 2 hours.
I thought that was lovely and fun.
I just stated facts.
But I don't think 2 hours is a long amount of hours. What do you think?
I don't. I thought that was really fun. I'd love to do this in person.
Polarizing.
I'm excited about the prospect, Katie, of you coming to the Bay Area for a while.
Yeah, get out here.
That'd be fun, right?
Get in me.
Get in. Sam's gonna get in me. I'll get in you. You'll get in him, and we'll have like a centipede situation. Is that what that was called?
An Ouroboros.
I'm going back to Connecticut.
Remember that horror movie that was like a...
Yeah, the human centipede. We don't need to continue
human
this.
Centipede.
But I want to do the human Ouroboros because then it's a full circle. It doesn't stop.
Is that how you say that word?
Ouroboros. Do your work.
Do your work. Thank you and good night. Love you, Sam.
What are you asking for? All of the answers? Say what? All of the answers? Yeah, all the answers.
Hey guys, thanks for listening. We'd love to hear from you. Please email us with your questions so that we have questions to answer in the Akashic Records. Our email address is allanswerspod@gmail.com. That's allanswerspod@gmail.com. And if you'd like to find us on Facebook or Twitter, it's @allanswerspod, @allanswerspod. Thank you.
Human Aurora Borealis.
We're going to do the human centipede Aurora Borealis do your work.
And I ran so far.
We love you, Sam. Thanks for coming back on.
Love you all. Thank you for having me as always. We can
We'll
do
be in
more
touch.
someday.
Let's
Sounds
do
good.
it in person.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Okay, bye.
Smooch.
Okay, bye.
Mixed and edited by Desmond McNeese for We Mixed It, LLC. Go to whatsoundsawesome.com.
Shibuya.